Hello everyone, and we're back with this best of 3 against our friend Ben Cooper here. Let's see how we do this week. See if we can get a win this time around. We did see his team of Kangaskhan, Xerneas, Groudon, Smeargle, Crobat and Landorus. Unfortunately, we only learned very few things. We learned Groudon has Earth Power and Protect. We learned Smeargle is Choice Carved with Dark Void and Transform. We learned Crobat has Quick Guard and Super Fang, but we really didn't learn much else. Or we learned an Icicle Crash does KO Crobat, actually. So we still don't have a good way to stop Smeargle. That's the reality. We do not have a good way to stop Smeargle. If he leads Crobat once again, we are in trouble, but I kind of want to lead a bit differently. His Xerneas did nothing and he saw us bring Mawile, so he might be inclined not to bring Xerneas this time around. But yeah, gonna bring Weavile Salamence and Kyogre and Cresselia in the back. Still no Xerneas for us, but I think we'll be fine here. I mean, I still have my doubts, and I don't like this team's matchup against the most common archetype from the new rules. So that definitely says a lot about our team, but we'll see how this goes. He does lead quite differently this time with Kangaskhan and Groudon. So our lead here looks pretty amazing. We do intimidate the Salamence, or the Kangaskhan rather. We do have a fake out available to us. We do at least... oh no, we should outspeed both of my opponent's Pokemon here. Now every Kangaskhan so far is inner focus, so he probably expects a fake out from my Weavile onto his Kangaskhan, and he will therefore fake out my Salamence. So with that in mind, I'm going to fake out his Groudon. He might also expect a Kyogre switch in here, and I'm going to protect Salamence. Or no, because maybe he... I'm gonna go for a Hyper Voice. I think I'm gonna get faked out, but he probably won't Mega Evolve to keep that inner focus ability, so it won't be doing too much after the Intimidate either. No, he does decide to Mega Evolve, so maybe going for the fake out onto Kang would have been the right play. I mean, worst case scenario, he goes for a Power Punch onto Weavile right now. That would be worst case scenario for sure. There's a fake out onto Groudon. There's the Hyper Voice onto both of my opponent's Pokemon. We do get Power Punch onto Weavile. So the Hyper Voice was a crit, and because the first Power Punch didn't KO Weavile, I believe that's some sort of... and yeah, Groudon outsped his Kangaskhan. I believe that is some sort of bulky Kangaskhan, which is at +1 only. So what I'm going to do, because we know the crit did over 50%, a Helping Hand Hyper Voice should KO both Pokemon, and a +1 Sucker Punch will do a lot of damage, but it will not KO Salamence. And nothing on his team appreciates receiving that +1 Hyper Voice. Not gonna lie, that critical hit on turn 1 was definitely very lucky, and he played pretty well by predicting I would not fake out his Kangaskhan and getting that +2 boost. So big props to Ben on that. Now, I did make my move quite quickly, But like I said, nothing on his team appreciates a helping hand Hyper Voice, and he has no way to stop that. He... like... yeah, Kangaskhan won't survive or won't KO with a Sucker Punch, not even with a crit, I don't think. His Groudon does decide to protect. There's a Sucker Punch, so we'll see how much damage that does. Yeah. Not even 50% at +1. So, with the helping hand, we should take down... yep, we should take down Kangaskhan. Perfect. And we learned it's the Sucker Punch variant. Now... yeah, I was expecting that. Scarfed Smeargle is back. And he can definitely put in a lot of work here. Now, we did see Earth Power and Protect, so I'm guessing he has Eruption, which is obviously useless at that range. We do have Kyogre in the back. Now, last time around he did opt to transform, so I'm going to try to set up a Trick Room, and I will Hyper Voice with Salamence. I really do expect a Dark Void here, yeah. That's the obvious play. And I think that's his best play too. At least both my Pokemon... wow, Cresselia avoided. At least both my Pokemon... well, Salamence rather, takes its first turn of sleep. He does direct the Flamethrower onto Crest, doesn't do too much damage. And we have a brand new 4 turns of Trick Room. Moody raises its attack, perfect, and reduces its speed. Not so great, because now under Trick Room his Smeargle will go first, then Salamence, I believe. Now. Do I switch in Kyogre here? Yep. Going to... oh, he also has another Pokemon in the back. So a sleeping Cresselia is going to be a very problematic. I'm going to break his Focus Sash, and I'm going to try to Hyper Voice, or rather wake up and Hyper Voice. Crest does go first because it is the slowest thing on the field. Next should be Smeargle. That was a crit, wow. There's a Dark Void, which he's locked into. So Crest doesn't have any sleep turns. Salamence. Okay, there's another Flamethrower. Salamence manages to hang on, but it's still asleep, unfortunately. Moody raises his accuracy, wow, and lowers his attack. So now his Dark Voids, I believe, are 100% accurate. Okay, he got a speed drop. I really would love for him to KO my Salamence here. So I'm going to try to Hyper Voice. If he doesn't go after Salamence and I'm able to wake up, I will get my Hyper Voice off, which should KO Groudon, but I do expect him to KO. Crest, that's his first turn of sleep, we should remember that. And because of that, now I don't think a full power Water Spout will be enough to KO Xerneas. With the helping hand it was, but without it, I definitely don't think it will be. But without the Geomancy, there's still 2 turns of Trick Room left. So I think we're still okay here. I really think we're still okay. I didn't switch out to Kyogre earlier because I didn't want it falling asleep. And there is a chance Crest can wake up right now. So I'm gonna try and go for the helping hand, and I'm definitely gonna go for a Water Spout here. I don't think I will KO Xerneas, but that's perfectly fine. We will KO Smeargle, which is the more problematic Pokemon. And we will still have another turn of Trick Room left. Okay, Xerneas decides to protect. So Xerneas' item Xerneas' item and moveset is no surprise to anyone. Cress has now taken 2 turns of sleep, so I have a 50-50 chance of Cress waking up. Unfortunately, it is the last turn of Trick Room. So he's going to wake up here, or he's going to Geomancy. I need to wake up, or else I lose. That's the only way I win. I have to skill swap, and I have to water spout. If I don't wake up, if I get a full 3 turn sleep, that's the game. If I do wake up, yes! And no protect from Groudon, so I might still have a chance here. Because he will Geomancy, but I will be able to set up another Trick Room or get an attack off with Kyogre. That almost KO'd Xerneas. So we'll probably see a Geomancy here. I would expect, yep. Geo. Now, Trick Room will end here. So there's no victory just yet. We do have bulk on this Kyogre. So that means we should survive the Moonblast. So okay, he has 2 choices. He can predict my Protect and go after Cresselia with a +2 Moonblast, which probably KOs at that range to prevent another Trick Room. But there's no point in me trying to protect here. I should survive the Moonblast unless it crits. The question is, do I even risk the Water Spout? I think I'd rather go for the Ice Beam. I believe 2 Ice Beams. I believe 1 Ice Beam should KO, but 2 Ice Beams probably KOs as well. He does predict my Protect, goes after Cresselia. He does get the KO. And let's see how much Ice Beam deals here. The rain does lift because it was on Cress, and yeah, Ice Beam is enough to pick up the KO. So I really am sweating from the nervousness. It really came down to waking up from Cress after burning those 2 turns of sleep. It was a 50-50 chance of waking up or not waking up, and we got it. So thank you, Ben, for the games. Very good games. Excuse me. And I hope you guys enjoyed this best of 3. I believe we went 2-1 for the week in best of 3s. And I will see you guys next time. Please leave a like in the video if you're enjoying it. I know I recorded this with the Spanish message by mistake. I intended to record it in English, but I'll just tell you guys a friendly reminder. If you want to support the channel, please consider disabling adblock during the videos. It would really help me out. And that will be all. Thank you guys, have a nice week, and I'll see you tomorrow in Spanish or on Tuesday for another best of 3. Bye bye.